As I said in the previous class, we are going to use a middleware in order to solve the problem, and we are going to do some modifications to the transformations. But what we are going to do now during this class is to create that middleware with a simple basic structure, and then we are going to register that middleware and use it directly in their corresponding controllers. Basically, this middleware should be executed for every store and update methods in our controllers, but we have some exceptions, so we are going to explain this along this class, of course. Let's just start creating our middleware. We are going to call this transform input, and what we are going to do now is just to register this middleware in the kernel file. We can see here, of course, the transform input middleware. And in the kernel file, we are going to register this as transform.input. Once we have this, we are going to register now our middleware in all the controllers methods that we need. So let's go controller by controller. We start with the user controller, and we need to use it in the store and update methods in order to transfer the input and, in case of failure, the validation errors. So we are going to do this in the constructor of this controller. The first thing that we are going to do is to call the parent constructor. It is going to be useful if for some reason the API controller constructor need to do something. In fact, it is going to do something in future classes, so we just need to take care of call this. Then we just need to register the middleware. That is called transform.input. This middleware is going to receive a new parameter, that is the name of the transformer, or basically the class for the transformer. In the case of user, we are going to use the user transformer. And it is going to be executed only for store and update. So what we are going to do now is to use it in every one of our controllers when it's required, of course, and using the corresponding transformer. So let's continue with transaction. We can see that here we only have index and show methods. Then with seller, we have an index method here, same here, here, and in the seller project controller, we have an store method. And of course, the update method too. So, in this case, we are creating instances of product. That means that we need to use the product transformer. Remember to import the definition of every transformer. I'm going to do the same in user controller. It is very important. And again, here we are going to use the store and update method. Let's continue. We have server transaction controller with an index method. It is good. Then here it is okay. Now, in the product buyer transaction controller, we have only the store method. In fact, we are just creating instances of transaction. So, as you may imagine, we are going to use the transaction transformer. Remember to import. And it is going to use only the store method. Then we have product category controller that has an update method, but it is not performing any kind of validation. In fact, it is not creating anything. So here, we don't need to use our middleware. Then in product controller, we have index and show, and the same for product transaction controller. Then for category, we have something similar for the other controllers, excepting the category controller itself. Here we have an store and update methods in order to create or edit an existing category. So we are going to use here the category transformer. Again, for the store and update methods. Then, as we know, for buyer we don't have anything related with store or update, and for the out controllers we are not going to do anything with this. So we are done now. We have completely modified our controllers in order to use the middleware when it's required. We need to do a last step here, that is, as we are using in some of our controllers the parent constructor, we need to create a constructor in the API controller that is the parent class in order to avoid any kind of error. So we just need to create this here. For now it is going to be empty. But of course along the classes we are going to modify this accordingly. If we go to check, we should have everything working as expected. For get and of course for post request when corresponding. So you can see that anything changed, but we are going to do any kind of transformation for the inputs and of course the error responses in the next classes. See you there.